Alright, so where we left off, we were going to go speak with Hiro and Toko. So let's go check with Toko first. I mean, she's closest down the hall, yeah? That sounds about right. Oi, Toko. How do I... Okay, here we go. Press the doorbell. And after a few seconds... Is it Jill?
Who's there?
The most negative aura I've ever felt. An aura of total decay.
Well, what do you want?
So you're back to normal. Genocide Jack isn't around anymore.
Don't even say her name. It makes me sick to my stomach. I was in such a good mood, too.
She didn't look like she was in a good mood.
Hey, I was hoping to talk to you about something. Is now a bad time?
Obviously annoyed, Toko slithered out into the hall.
What do you want?
You said you wanted to talk to me about something? Wow, I need to work on my stuttering. I never thought I would say that. I wanted to talk about the fact that Sakura had asked to meet with you.
Well...
I don't know what you're talking about. Byakuya already told me she had asked to meet with him. What? She wanted to meet with Master too? I just said too, didn't I? Guess now it's totally obvious, huh? Yeah, pretty much. So, can you tell me about it? I admit, I did get the note. But I didn't go see her. I was scared, so I couldn't bring myself to go. Toko claims she didn't go see her, but can I really believe her? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact. Is that good enough? Then I'm going back to my room. With that, Toko quickly retreated into her room. Toko's account has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook. Alright, now all we have left is Hiro. And this place is getting empty. It's kind of depressing when you think about it. I thought that was Leon's room. I pressed the doorbell. And after a few seconds...
You know?
What's up, Makoto? Did you need something? Yeah, actually. I just wanted to check something. It's about how Sakura wanted to meet with you. How'd you know about that?
Could it be?
Did you maybe gaze in my soul? Have your special abilities awakened in you? But I'm not the only one she wanted to meet with. Ogre told me herself that she asked Byakuya and Toko to come too. What? When did Sakura tell you that?
What?
Oh! Well... When she asked me to meet with her, of course. Hiro, you're hiding something. But didn't she write you a note? Yeah, a note.
How about that?
She gave it to me in person, and she happened to mention the others, like, in passing. I gotta be honest, this is super suspicious. So, I'm sorry, I'm laughing a little bit. So, then you went and met with Sakura?
You got it all wrong!
No way, I totally didn't. Why would I ever do that? Yeah, definitely suspicious.
Actually...
The last time I saw Ogre was when Hina got hurt and I took her to the nurse's office.
Don't look at me!
I haven't seen her since then. But then how did she hand you the note? While I'm here, could you show me the note she gave you? Do I still have it? Let's see. Hiro was feeling around in his pockets.
Hey, come on!
Ah, sorry. Looks like I don't have it anymore. With a big goofy smile on his face, he pulled his hands back out of his pockets. But when he did, I saw something flutter to the ground. Something had fallen out of Hiro's pocket. Huh? Ah. Ah! Quick as the wind, Hiro snatched it back up again, and shoved it back into his pocket.
Hey, come on!
Sorry, just a bit of trash I forgot to throw out. Trash?
What?
Anyway, I can't deny that Ogre asked me to meet with her, or asked to meet with me. but I never went. So, well, if you'll excuse me. Before waiting for a reply, Hiro quickly slipped back into his room. Hiro said that was just trash, but there's no way that's all there was to it. Pocket trash has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Okay, so I've heard from Toko and Hiro. What next? I'll definitely have to look at the actual crime scene again, but on top of that, maybe I should find out more about that protein can we found on the floor of the rec room. I'm sure it must have come from the chem lab. So, where should I start? Chem lab, obviously. We'll go there, we'll re-examine the crime scene, and once we're done with that... let's see, where's the chem lab? Here it is. There we are. Nice and easy. Once we're done with that, we'll go check on the crime scene again. Okay. Wow. Quite the spill. Makoto, did you have your eye on the chem lab too? Just make sure you don't get in my way. Yeah, I got it. I think what you meant to say was, yes sir, I understand. Okay, so I can talk with Byakuya, I can check the spill on the floor, or maybe I can't. There are footprints there. This isn't my first time seeing the shelf, but I just can't get over how big it is. I should probably take a closer look at it. It looks like 3 shelves have been connected together to make one giant shelf. But more important right now, what's that powder that's been spilled in front of the shelf? I have to be careful not to step in it. This is what I'm curious about. There's a bunch of yellow powder scattered on the floor. I'd better not leave a footprint. This is poison. There's a broken bottle in front of the shelf. Is this where all the powder came from? It looks like the bottle had a label on it. Chem C4. Like the explosive? Would you like to hear something interesting? I was on the 4th floor this morning, checking things out, and at that point, this room wasn't like this. Then, this powder must have been spilled.
So, in other words...
That's right. It could only have been around the time of the incident. If that really is when it happened, it must be related to the case somehow. Source of the powder has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Man, I'm so glad Monokuma cleans up. Okay, the protein zyme was like A2, wasn't it? Hang on. Yeah, wow, that was actually pretty good. Let's see, what's on this shelf? There are all kinds of dietary supplements and different medicines. Why is C9 there? The protein drink we found in the rec room probably came from this shelf. All the containers on this shelf are labeled with the letter A and a number. So I guess I can consider this part of the shelving unit section A. Huh? But wait! There's one bottle here that's labeled Chem C9. Could someone have put it here on accident? I don't think so. So on this shelf is... looks like a bunch of chemicals that I have no idea what they are. They're reagents. Put simply, they're used in experiments to bring about a chemical reaction. How have you lived in such ignorance for so long? It must truly be bliss. Isn't that kinda harsh?
What?
What? You think studying science and mathematics has no practical application in the real world?
That's fine.
The words of a lifelong loser. Which, I suppose, suits you well. I didn't even say that. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Right now I need to focus on the shelf. All the containers on this shelf are labeled with the letter B and a number. So I guess I can consider this part of the shelving unit Section B. I don't see anything out of the ordinary here. In which case, I don't think I have to worry too much about this shelf. So what's with Shelf C then? One look, and I can tell it's nothing but dangerous chemicals. These look like poisons and other powerful chemicals. All the containers on this shelf are labeled with the letter C and a number. So I guess I can consider this part of the shelving unit Section C. I should try to find out more about this shelving unit. It looks like it's split into 3 sections. Section A has dietary supplements, Section B has reagents, and Section C has lethal chemicals. Sakura must have gotten the protein powder from Section A. But what concerns me is that in Section A, there's a bottle with a label from Section C. What was a bottle of poison from Section C doing in Section A? There's definitely something going on there. Chem Lab shelf has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook. Oh, there's 3 things I can do here? Okay, so I explored everything but this. These are footprints? Whose footprints are these? And they're only in front of the left shelf. How do these footprints relate to a crime scene as a whole? We may need to sketch out the floor plan. By we, do you mean me? How kind of you to offer. With an insufferable smirk, he handed me a piece of paper and a pen.
What?
Well, let's go. Chop chop! Okay. So I got to work, and before long, I'd drawn up a sketch of the room. So, how's this? Not bad. For you, I mean. For me?
I see.
So, when you look at it like this, interesting. It would appear that whoever left these footprints only had business with the leftmost shelf. They came in, went straight to that shelf, did whatever they had to do, and then left. That's what the footprints tell me.
I see.
These footprints must be...
It's certainly possible.
Makoto, are they yours? No!
What?
Okay, then let me see your shoes and I'll confirm their size for myself. I couldn't think of a reason not to, so I quietly did what Byakuya said. I see. Your feet do appear to be too big. Unfortunately, I must admit these are not your footprints. Unfortunately? But with how clear these prints are, it should be quite easy to determine who they do belong to. Then these prints really are a valuable clue. I should probably take a good, hard look at that powder. There's a bunch of yellow powder scattered on the floor in front of the shelf. There's also the remains of a broken bottle. It looks like the bottle was labeled Chem C4. Also, it looks like someone left footprints in the powder. Based on the positioning of the prints, whoever it was only went to the left side of the shelf. I'm thinking that someone poisoned the protein powder, so knowing that Sakura would take it, and spilled or knocked the bottle down after they were putting things back. But then that doesn't explain why bottle C9 is over in the A shelf. According to Byakuya, the powder would have to have been spilled right around the time of the incident. That's all I can tell for now. Footprints and powder has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook. I've already taken a good look at the chem lab. Maybe I should take another look at the rec room. Byakuya, what do you have to say, man? Anything new? Okay, hold on.
I see.
Makoto, I admit, you have a good eye for spotting useful clues. But you also need to learn how to make use of those clues. Alright. I don't have to fast travel from the hall, I just kind of do it out of habit. Wait, what am I doing? It's faster to go the other way. Too late, I'm in the 40s, gotta go around the horn, it's faster. Oh, I like that the door's updated.
Hey.
So, Makoto, how's your investigation going? I told Kyoko and Toko what Toko and Hiro had told me.
I see.
So along with Byakuya, they're both claiming they didn't go see her either. But it's all too convenient. Someone must be lying. Someone's lying.
Anyway.
Well, I've made some progress of my own. Sakura's body, the shelf of magazines, and the Monokuma bottle. These 3 things have revealed new clues. You'd do well to look them over one more time. Hina, you doing okay?
What the heck?
We already know who did it. Byakuya, Toko, or Hiro. It had to be one of them.
Just the worst.
You see, Sakura asked all 3 of them to meet with her. You know where? Right here in the rec room. Hina, were your shoes always that yellow? I feel like they were. Yeah, they have to have been. Okay. According to Kyoko, there's still something to be discovered from Sakura's body.
Just a second.
Just staring off into space isn't going to help you figure anything out. Well, yeah, I know, but...
Hey.
Don't you think you might need to actually examine the body? There's no getting around it. Unlike me, Kyoko didn't recoil at the thought of touching a dead body. She was completely unemotional. It's the kind of thing I've grown perversely used to. Although, there are still some times... I can't believe how calm you are. No matter how many times I see a dead body, I can't get used to it.
It's true.
That's totally normal. Then how can you...
So...
I imagine it's because I've had plenty of opportunities to touch dead bodies in the past. What? Sorry, never mind.
Hey.
More importantly, look here. Her shoes?
Correct.
You see that yellow powder on her instep? Yeah, it really stands out.
I see.
That powder is clue number 1. Yellow powder has been added to the truth bullets section of your handbook.
Hey.
Next is the wound to her head. Look carefully.
It's true.
Actually, even telling you that, it's incredibly difficult to spot. So let me just explain.
It would seem...
It would appear that she didn't suffer a single blow, but instead received 2 blows to the head. 2 blows?
Indeed.
Interesting, wouldn't you say? And there's one more interesting thing.
Correct.
Both of her hands were spotless. There's absolutely no trace of blood on either one.
It's true.
So, that's what I learned from examining her body in detail. Kyoko's examination summary has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. I can't believe she was able to learn all that just by looking at her body. I don't think anyone but Kyoko could have pulled that off. Alright, the magazine shelf and the Monokuma bottles. Monokuma bottles first. I think Kyoko said she'd found a new clue involving the Monokuma bottles. Something new. Something new.
Hey.
So, did you figure it out? There's a hidden correlation between all the bottles. Pay careful attention and you're sure to find it. The chess pieces? Correlation. Hey, Kyoko, can't you just tell me what it is?
So...
I don't mind guiding you toward clues, but giving you my conclusion isn't a good idea. Each person needs to come to their own conclusions so that everyone can have confidence in the outcome. And it's not just because you don't trust me, right? No answer? I do trust you, to a degree. Otherwise, I wouldn't have told you anything to begin with. Only to a degree? Monokuma bottle has been updated to in the truth bullet section of your handbook.
Hey.
Actually, there's one other thing about the Monokuma bottles that's bothering me. I'd like to do an experiment to confirm it. You don't mind helping me, right? An experiment?
Anyway...
Can you gather up all the pieces of the broken Monokuma bottle? Try to get the smaller pieces, too. Are you sure it's okay to mess with the crime scene like that?
That doesn't matter.
I've already done a thorough investigation, so it's fine. And that obnoxious Byakuya's not here, so...
So then...
Anyway, I need to get something from the chem lab. While I'm gone, try to gather up all the glass. With that, Kyoko left the room. I really don't know what this is about, but... what choice do I have? I'd better just do it. I took the broom and dustpan and got to work, collecting all the broken bottle pieces. And just as I finished up... Sorry to keep you waiting.
So then...
Is everything ready? Then let's get to work. So, what kind of experiment are we doing?
In other words...
I got a scale from the chem lab. We're going to use it to compare weights. Compare the weights of what? The pieces of glass you collected, and one of the Monokuma bottles that's still intact. Why do you want to do that? That's the point of the experiment. It'll make sense when we're done.
Listen.
First, let's compare the weight of two of the normal Monokuma bottles. It's balanced.
In other words...
Which means each Monokuma bottle weighs about the same, which makes sense. The Monokuma figures inside are basically the same, and nothing else could really affect the weight.
So then...
Now, here comes the important part. Put all the pieces you picked up on one side of the scale. Now, what might we expect to see? Well, a normal assumption would be either they'll balance out or the pieces I collected will be lighter. I did my best to get them all, but there's a chance I could have missed some here and there.
So then...
Okay then, let's give it a try. Huh? The broken pieces are heavier. How is that possible?
I knew it.
Just as I thought. What?
In other words...
The results of our experiment and the correlation between each of the bottles. put it all together. That bottle was specifically chosen because it was heavier.
Hey,
And I believe you will arrive at one very persuasive conclusion. So, what do you think? It's all on you. Monokuma bottle experiment has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Alright, so then... Kyoko said the magazine shelf was hiding a clue of some kind. Clue. Oh, this magazine is upside down. Miss Muscle appears. Cosplay King. Did someone put it back? Did someone put it back that way on accident?
hey,
If something catches your eye, it's important for you to explore that in detail, don't you think? Yeah, you're right. I picked up the inverted magazine and flipped through it. This is... On one of the pages, near the center of the magazine, a word had been written in bold, bloody letters. And it said, Toko. Could this be a dying message?
correct.
Then it would appear you found it. Kyoko, is this...
So,
It is indeed a dying message. Someone used their finger to write it. Dying message.
however,
But just to be clear, I'm not the one who put it back upside down. It was already like that when I found it a little while ago. I made sure to put it back exactly as I found it, for the benefit of others who might come looking. Hey, is that... That says Toko, right? Yeah, it looks like it. Then she's the killer, right? Well, it hasn't been confirmed yet. It's settled. She's the killer for sure. That's conclusive evidence, right? We can use it to corner the killer. I can see why you would think that, but it just seems too easy. If anything, it makes me that much more suspicious. Magazine dying message has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Wow, that was a fast investigation. That was like 20 minutes it tacked onto from last time.
Whoops! You caught me sleeping. Your investigation was just so boring I couldn't stay awake. Should I do it? Is it okay? Can I? Okay, then let's begin the class trial. You know where to meet, right? Please go through the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon!
It's already time, but the mystery of the locked room is still only half solved. At this point, whatever happens will have to happen at the class trial. No, not whatever happens. I have to make something happen. Alright, so we're going to do the trial thing a little differently. I'm going to look for a down moment in there, and that's where I'll cut it this time, to save us from the headache of last time. Alright, I'll see what I can do. No promises, but I'll try. Monokuma made his announcement, and everyone began to meet up, one after another. And then... the ultimate martial artist! A locked room murder mystery!
what?
What the... Oh, I've just recently discovered the power of emoticons! Like, no matter how awful something is, if you toss in a smiley face, it turns positive!
Yes, indeed.
For example, you're at a picnic and you find a dead body! This is just plain creepy.
Well,
And how about the reverse? No matter how great something is, if you put in a sad face, it makes it look super negative.
yes, indeed.
For example, do you have 100 friends? He's right, that does make it seem sad.
I can't wait.
Now then, please get on the elevator. I'll see you all down there. Oh my god, he did Dancing Kirby. What the hell was that? I don't get it.
Just the worst.
I don't get you guys. How can you act so casual after murdering someone?
Don't look at me!
I don't think I'm acting casual.
Don't be mean!
I mean, I didn't murder anyone.
What the heck?
Yeah, I'm completely innocent. How dare you call me a murderer?
What the heck?
Whatever. Either way, the truth will be revealed soon enough. because there can be no doubt one of us is the culprit. The killer. The one that murdered Sakura. She was stronger than anyone I know. And yet, someone killed her. And that person is here? That person is one of us?
Don't look at me!
I said it before, and I'll say it again. It wasn't me. Thanks, Shaggy. The culprit is one of us. Make no mistake about that. But because I didn't do it, how many times do I have to tell you? How can you just stand there and say you didn't do it without even breaking a sweat?
Hey,
Standing around here isn't going to do any good. Let's get going. Come on, it's time to put an end to this. I made my way toward the elevator, but with each step I took, I felt like I was moving further and further away from my goal. I could feel a chilling fear run through me, trying to make me rot from the inside out. No matter how many times I go through this, it never gets any easier. We climbed into our steel prison in total silence. We watched the doors close, and felt it begin its sinister descent. I'm gonna open up a water bottle real quick, so if you're crackling and I say anything, that's why. Man, this place is empty. The elevator lowered, uttering its all too familiar clunking sounds. It fell lower and lower, and suddenly, as always, the ride was over. The doors opened once again. Just the 6 of you, huh? Really? That's so few! You must be so lonely! You say that like it's like your fault we're all that's left. I wonder, will the class trial end with one last classmate again? Or will your school life come to an end completely?
Now then.
Are we ready to begin? You know the drill. Find your assigned seats. And so, the curtain opened for the 4th time. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly fate, a deadly class trial. Alright. Multiple suspects. Murder in a locked room. If anyone was likely to survive, it was Sakura. And yet, she's dead. Alright, let's check the truth bullets. We've been over these before already. Death was estimated to be around 12 noon. Body was discovered in the rec room. Strong blow to the victim's head. Kyoko says there's actually 2. Seems the victim suffered from violent vomiting of blood. She was poisoned. Chair had been jammed against the door in the rec room. Locked room scenario. Sakura was found dead in a chair, slumping forward. Traces of blood were found around her mouth, presumably from when she vomited blood. However, there was no injury or indication as to why she would have vomited blood. Bloodstain was found in front of the shelf of magazines. The blood is presumed to be Sakura's. Let's see. Aoi had been injured and taken to the nurse's office. After she was taken care of, she gave a piece of candy to Sakura, which had this type of wrapper. According to Aoi, she had monopolized this candy as soon as it would become available, so obtaining a piece would have been difficult to impossible. There were pieces of red glass scattered near the table in the rec room. After finding the top and bottom pieces, it was concluded that the shards must have come from a bottle. A Monokuma figure was found laying on the rec room floor. It would fit roughly in the palm of your hand. Bottles on the shelf, unknown correlation. The weird thing is that the shards of glass were underneath the protein coffee, or the protein powder bottle. Now, the only thing I can think for the lockers, there's a hidden passage. Alright, so, yeah, we went through all of this, so we know what we're getting into. Alright. Let's assign skills, and then we'll get in there. Cool and composed. Steadies your aim a little. Effective during the non-stop debate in Hangman's Gambit. Costs 2 SP. Do I have any other skills? Why do we have so many skills? Do we get multiples from people? Let's get to it. All rise!
begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Now then, where to begin?
We already know who did it.
Whoa, deja vu.
The one who killed Sakura is one of the people that hated her. Byakuya, Toko, or Hiro. It was one of you.
Idiot.
I had nothing to do with it.
Yeah! I'd never kill someone, no way!
I don't want to hear your stupid excuses.
Hina seems really sure that one of those three is the killer, but she must have some reason for believing that. This place got really empty. Now here's a count. Okay, 3 of them had
It was
notes.
one of you. One of you killed Sakura.
And what reason do you have for saying so?
Because you all had a motive. You hated her.
Is that it? That doesn't make any sense.
That's the only reason you have her accusing us?
That's low. That's about as low as you can get.
Some concrete reason why Hina suspects those 3 specifically. I'm sure she mentioned it before. Yep, I know exactly where to hit
One
it.
of you. One of you killed.
And what reason did
Because you hated her.
Is that it? That doesn't make any sense.
That's the only reason you have her accusing us?
Wait, oh man!
Low. That's about as low as you
Okay, let's get back there.
It was one of you killed.
And what reason do you have for...
Because you hated her.
Is that it?
That doesn't make sense.
That's the only reason you have her accusing us?
Sorry, Hiro.
No, it's wrong. Another reason you suspect them is because Sakura wanted to meet with them, right?
Yeah, and that was right before she died. So there's no doubt about it. One of those 3 killed her.
I can't disagree with Hina. There's good reason to suspect all 3 of them. Then does that mean one of them did it? Pocket trash.
The fact that Sakura wanted to meet with all 3 of them, there's no way that's not suspicious. One of you is absolutely guilty.
I don't deny that she wanted to meet with us, but I never went to see her.
I didn't either.
Yeah, same here. I never saw her.
Found it.
Come on. There's no way none of you went. At least one of you is lying.
There's a clear contradiction in something one of them said just now. If they didn't go see Sakura, then how can they explain it?
The fact that Sakura
Hiro, I'm
there's no way
sorry.
that one of you is
I don't deny that I never went.
I didn't.
Yeah, same here. I never saw...
No, it's wrong.
This has got to get harder somewhere, right?
Hiro, when we were talking before, you dropped a small piece of paper, remember? It was white with red polka dots.
What's that got to do with anything?
Red polka dots? That's gotta be the wrapper from the candy I gave Sakura.
No, it's...
Ever since we got into the warehouse, I totally monopolized that entire box of candy. So there's no way a single one of them was left in the warehouse.
In that case, Hiro, where did you get that piece of candy?
From Sakura! It's the only explanation.
Well, I mean... Yeah, sure I got it from her, but she gave it to me forever ago. It doesn't have anything to do with what happened to her.
When? When did she give it to you?
The last time you saw Sakura was... when Hina had to go to the nurse's office, right?
Yeah, so I must have got it sometime before then.
What Hiro said can't be right. because Sakura could have only gotten the candy after the incident in the nurse's office. And the reason I know that is Sakura got that candy.
I got it! I'm not sure about that, Hiro. Hina didn't actually give Sakura the candy till after she left the nurse's office. So if that was the last time you saw her, there's no reason you should have had that candy.
Damn it! I mean, what I meant was,
Alright. What's the big reveal?
Oh, that's right! I did meet up with her in the rec room. You got a problem with that?
Why the sudden hostility?
But we just talked, that's all. I didn't do anything, you gotta believe me.
You're acting incredibly suspicious.
You're acting incredibly suspicious. It's not just normal hostility. You're the real culprit. I even have proof.
Proof? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about her shining message.
What would a shining message even be?
At the scene of the crime, she had written out Toko in her own blood, right? It was her dying message. Just like what you guys were talking about with Sayaka.
That's true. I saw it for myself.
See? See? Toko did it!
He's pushing this too hard.
What are you saying? No way! How did he do it?
You just don't know when you're beat, do ya?
Yeah, he is definitely hiding something else.
Hiro, hold on. When did you see that dying message of hers?
Huh? Well, when we found Ogre's body. Duh.
But if you recall, Hina was very adamant about keeping you away from the scene of the crime. So it's hard to believe that's when you actually saw the message for yourself.
Huh? Hold on. But when Kyoko found the magazine with the dying message, it was on the magazine shelf.
I got it! Kyoko, you found the magazine on the magazine shelf, right?
That's right. Looking through the shelf, I found the magazine with the dying message on it. I found it right there at the scene of the crime, after we'd started the investigation.
If that's true, then what Hiro just said doesn't really make sense, does it?
Doesn't make sense? What doesn't make sense? Everything I said makes perfect sense.
There's definitely something strange about it. Kyoko found the dying message during the investigation, in which case, the only way Hiro could have known about it is if he had seen it beforehand, or wrote it. It contradicts what Hiro told us. Alright, what bullets have we got? Magazine dying message.
I can tell you exactly when I found the dying message. When Ogre's body was discovered.
And I can tell you when I found the dying message. It was only after the investigation had begun. I found the magazine tucked away on the magazine shelf. When I pulled it out, I saw her final words.
What's your problem? What I said makes total sense.
No, it doesn't. You weren't there when the body was discovered. But at that time, where was the magazine?
I can tell you exactly when I found the dying message. When Ogre's body was discovered.
And I can tell you when I found the dying message. It was only after the investigation had begun.
I'm gonna try
I found
this.
the magazine tucked away on the magazine shelf.
Oh wait, hang on.
I pulled it out. I saw her.
We have to use magazine shelf. We have to memorize magazine shelf and then use that.
And I can tell you when it was only after I found the magazine tucked away on the magazine shelf. When I pulled it out, what's your problem? What I said makes total sense.
It was on the magazine shelf the whole time. Like, there wasn't any paper out there. I would have seen it sooner.
Exactly when I found the dying when Ogre's body was discovered.
Sorry, man.
No, it's wrong. When Sakura's body was found, that magazine was sitting on the shelf nearby. That's where Kyoko found it, after we'd begun the investigation. And you weren't at the murder scene, so there's no way you could have seen it then. Tell us the truth, Hiro. When did you see the message?
Hold on! You're focusing on the wrong part! Why does it matter when I saw it? All you gotta do is read the Vienna sausage Ogre left us, and we know who the killer is! Toko!
Why Vienna sausage?
I don't even know where to begin with that one.
He's just trying to confuse us.
Actually, can we even be sure Sakura wrote that message in the first place?
The handwriting was pretty neat, too. That's the other thing.
Yeah? I think we can all agree Ogre wrote that message. 100%, without a doubt, she wrote it. And this is me talking, so you know it's true.
With a 30% success rate? Sir, I don't think so. Without a doubt. No, I absolutely do doubt it. There's no way Sakura wrote that message. The moment of truth. Oh boy! It's YA, yeah?
Show me the proof. I'm at least 30% right. The occult is bullcrap. Give it a rest. I'm at least 30% right. The occult is bullcrap. The end is nigh. Show me the proof. I'm at least 30% right. The occult is bullcrap. Give it a rest. I'm at least 30% right.
That went smoother than last
Show
time.
me the proof.
This should prove it. I'm completely unconvinced that Sakura wrote that dying message.
Her hands were clean, that's right.
Because if you look at it, the message was almost certainly written using a finger. But both of her hands were completely free of blood.
Then, who did write it?
Hiro could very well have written it himself. That would explain how he knew about the message in the first place.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Ah! He admits it!
I figured as much.
But why would you write something like that?
Because I killed her!
You're admitting to killing her?
Please, just let me explain what happened. I got Ogre's note, and so I headed to the rec room right before noon, just like it said.
You just did exactly as the note asked? What a fool.
And when I got there...
Sorry, but do you mind waiting? I asked a couple of other people to meet as well. Okay. Would you like a piece of candy? It might help give you some energy. Oh, sure. Thanks.
And that's all she said. After that, we just stood around in awkward silence. Suddenly, I heard her mutter something.
This is it. I'm going to end it today. I'm going to end everything.
As soon as I heard that, I just knew. I knew she was gonna try and kill me. She was gonna kill me and make her escape. So of course I freaked out, and then... I saw my only chance. I grabbed the Monokuma bottle from the shelf and smashed it across her head. I hit her from behind, before she had any idea what was happening. Then she just went limp. I didn't see her move again after that. Once it was over, I pulled myself together. I realized if I didn't do something, I'd be caught and executed. So I wrote Toko's name in blood across a magazine on the table and I ran away.
I can't believe you! You're the worst! I hope you die!
Well, that's what happened. Go ahead. Roast me, boil me, do whatever you want.
That doesn't explain the poisoning or whatever. That doesn't explain her vomiting blood. It doesn't explain the locked room scenario.
You're not gonna get off that easy. It's death. Death for the one that killed Sakura. We're ready to vote now, right? We know who did it.
No, I think there's more to Hiro's story.
What are you talking about? What else could there be?
There's one thing that Hiro's story just now doesn't explain. And until we figure that part out, we can't consider the case closed.
Where did the blood come from? So was it the Hiro... What is it that Hiro did that doesn't make sense? What would he have to do after writing the message? Why he didn't use Sakura's finger? Or why the magazine was hidden? It's one of these two. Why didn't Hiro put the blood on Sakura's finger to make it look like she'd written it? I just panicked! I didn't even think about that! You wouldn't have thought of that even if you didn't panic. Okay, it's the other one. Anyway, that's not the point I was trying to make.
Shoot!
Looks like I just embarrassed myself in front of everyone. What I was trying to say is, Hiro did something with the message. That's right. Okay.
I got it!
There we go. I redeemed myself.
True. Everything you just said. It doesn't explain why the magazine was hidden, does it? By the time the body was discovered, the magazine had been picked up and put on the shelf. Why would you take the time to write that message, then stick it somewhere we might not find it?
Oh. Well, I didn't hide it. I'm sure I just left it sitting there on the table.
Really?
He's lying! He's gotta be lying!
I don't see any reason he would lie now, after already confessing to the crime.
Then he's not lying?
Assuming he's telling the truth, someone else must have put the magazine back on the shelf. In other words, at least one other person was in the rec room both before and after the incident.
I don't think there's any question about that.
But then, who was it?
If they went to the trouble of hiding the magazine, they must not have liked what was written on it.
That's Toko. There's only one choice, Byakuya, clearly.
I got it! It had to be Toko, right? Who else would want to hide the magazine other than the person whose name was written on it?
Is he right, Toko? Did you really go to the rec room?
Why would I have... Wait! But more important, that doesn't even matter! We already know who did it, right? Hiro just admitted it!
That's right. I killed her.
No, you didn't.
Who asked you?
I don't doubt Hiro attacked Sakura with the bottle. But that's not where this case ends.
What do you mean?
What he means is that Hiro isn't the killer.
You can't be serious! That's just... I don't believe it!
Hiro, tell us what happened one more time. If we go through it once more, it should become clear he's not Sakura's killer.
So, what do you want me to do?
Just tell us what happened one more time when you attacked Sakura.
I don't really see why, but okay.
We haven't reached the end of the case just yet. Hiro isn't the real killer. It was the poison that killed Sakura. And I have to prove that. Okay, it might be the yellow powder, it might be the status of Sakura's body.
I didn't want to, but I did it. I grabbed a Monokuma bottle from the shelf nearby, and I hit Ogre from behind before she could do anything.
You hit her from behind. And you only hit her once. Is that right?
Yeah, just once. After the first swing, the bottle shattered, and she went limp.
See? Isn't it obvious? Hiro really is the killer!
Hiro hit Sakura, that's for sure. But this doesn't end there. There's something that proves that. The wounds on her head.
I didn't want to, but I did it.
That is a long bullet.
I grabbed a Monokuma bottle from the shelf nearby, and I hit Ogre from behind before she could do anything.
You hit her from behind. And you only hit her once. Is that right?
Yeah, just once.
No, it's wrong! If Sakura died from Hiro's single blow, that doesn't explain why she had 2 head wounds.
2?
That's right. She had 2 separate wounds on her head.
And remember, this girl examines dead bodies as a hobby. Personally, I'm inclined to believe her.
But I only hit her once. How could she have 2 wounds?
2 wounds means she was struck twice. What's more, both attacks must have come from a Monokuma bottle.
The bottle that Hiro chose was denser than the others, that's why it's heavier. It's gotta be.
Hold on! How can you know that just from some cuts on her head? She was attacked twice with 2 Monokuma bottles?
It's not just because of her head wounds. It's also because of the Monokuma bottles themselves. There's something very suspicious about those bottles.
There are 2 gaps there, though. So, why would Toko know there were 2 bottles used?
Once you understand that point, you'll understand why 2 separate Monokuma bottles must have been used.
That's why they were heavier.
Think back. After the incident, there were 4 Monokuma bottles left on the shelf, right? And we found pieces of a bottle on the ground, along with the chess piece it had inside.
That was the bottle Hiro hit Sakura with, right?
For now, just note that there were 4 intact bottles and 1 broken bottle. But originally, there were 6 bottles in total, meaning 1 has gone missing.
But how can you know for sure there were 6 bottles?
That's easy. If you look at what the bottles all had in common, it should become clear.
Chess pieces. Pawn, rook, knight, bishop, king, queen. Correlation between the Monokuma bottles. I feel like it's starting to become clear. The connection must be... It's the object the Monokuma figure had inside each bottle it's holding. Or, well, yeah, that made no sense. Alright, so I know what to do this time. It's chess, right? Chess piece. Okay, so we're looking for a C. Alright, now we need an S. Now we need a P. I-E. There we go.
Now I understand. That's it. The chess pieces. Inside each bottle, there was a Monokuma figure holding a different chess piece.
King, rook, bishop, pawn. I definitely remember seeing each of those.
And the piece that was inside the broken bottle we found was the knight, if I remember.
So, what's that matter?
I guess you don't know too much about chess, do you? In chess,
Oh,
there are
whoops.
6 different pieces. The king, the queen, the rook, knight, bishop, and pawn. What was left intact at the crime scene were the king, rook, bishop, and pawn. Just those 4. And on the ground was the knight.
Oh, so the queen is missing.
So we only have evidence for 5 bottles at the scene, while 1 apparently went missing.
What does chess have to do with anything?
Yeah, shogi is way better.
Yeah. Wait, no, that's not what I mean. So, let's say a bottle did go missing. There's still no evidence that has anything to do with this case. That bottle could have disappeared any time before the murder.
No, it's clear that the missing bottle is connected to this case.
How is it clear?
Think about what state the missing bottle must have been in. Maybe then you'll understand.
Wait, when the bottle was missing, it was broken.
I got it! The bottle must have been broken.
What makes you so sure?
Because there was evidence at the scene that supports it.
Huh?
That's right. We found evidence that shows there was more than just 1 broken bottle at the scene.
And what is this evidence?
There wasn't a single broken bottle, and the evidence that proves that is Kyoko and I figured it out before. It's the experiment. And where are you?
I got it! Earlier, Kyoko and I did a little experiment. We compared the weight of the broken bottle pieces at the scene to one of the unbroken bottles. And what we found was that the collection of pieces was heavier. And the reason for that is... there was actually more than 1 bottle's worth of shattered glass.
So from this, we can surmise that 2 bottles were actually broken at the scene of the crime. But someone did their best to clean up the pieces of one of the bottles, along with the figure inside. But when they did, They must have left behind a few too many pieces, which is only natural. They certainly had no way to measure the exact right number of pieces to remove.
But why would they have to try and get rid of it like that anyway?
Because of what it would reveal about the case.
There can be no doubt that the second missing Monokuma bottle is involved in this case. It must have been used by Sakura's first attacker. No, you're wrong! Yeah, the Monokuma bottle definitely broke when I hit her, but I only used the one bottle. Ow. I was thinking... I keep overthinking this. It's not related to the first time she was attacked. It must have been used by Sakura's second attacker. Some bowling aficionados.
The bottle that was removed from the scene was used the second time Sakura was attacked.
The second wound on Sakura's head came from that second bottle. Given all the evidence, this is the only possible conclusion.
The killer wanted to make it look like there was only one attack, so they had to get rid of their evidence.
From there, we can conclude that it wasn't Hiro who delivered that second blow. Wouldn't you agree, Toko? And there's the matter of the magazine. You must have been in the rec room when the incident took place.
Wait! I admit, maybe there was a second attack, but there's no evidence I had anything to do with it.
No way! You killed her! I'm sure of it!
Shut up! Until 2 seconds ago, you were claiming you killed her!
I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong. That's just the kind of guy I am. Plus, I just remembered something that proves it.
Okay, fine. Let's hear it.
I kind of hate that I'm signing with Byakuya now.
It was right after I got Ogre's note. I was kind of nervous about it, so I went to the rec room early. You know, to stake it out or whatever. So I was waiting there, and that's when I saw her. I saw Toko go into the rec room.
You did?
Pretty soon, Ogre showed up, and she went into the rec room. I assumed Toko was still in there, so I figured everything would be okay. That's why I headed in. But when I got inside, Ogre was all alone. Toko had disappeared.
And you just now decided to share that with us?
After the shock of thinking I'd killed someone, I forgot all about it.
Could someone tighten the screws on his brain? I think they've come loose.
So, Toko, where the heck did you disappear to?
You don't know what you're talking about. I never went in the rec room.
I'm sure she didn't disappear, but maybe she found somewhere to hide.
What? Hiding in the rec room? Don't be ridiculous. Why are you all ganging up on me? You're all nothing but vermin.
No, it's not ridiculous at all. I need proof that shows Toko was hiding in the rec room. And I have it. She left it there for anyone to find. A new element has been added to bullet time battles. Would you like to hear about it? Yeah! So far, you've probably been using the Y button during your final strike without a second thought. But from now on, you're going to have to pay a little extra attention to your finishing blow. Now you'll have to choose the proper truth, god damn it, to use during your coup de grace. You'll select it the same way during the non-stop debate. Simply press the left bumper button. Also, like the debate, if your logic difficulty is set to kind, you'll have fewer bullets to choose from. But for educational purposes, we're going to pretend you're set to mean regardless. Just this once, okay? Oh, by the way, you're about halfway through the game now. Go you! Only halfway? There's almost no one left! Well then, good luck and have fun!
It's a lie! I admit nothing. I hate you. I curse you. No! That's enough! I admit nothing. I curse you. I curse you. It's a lie! That's enough! It's a lie! I admit nothing.
Alright, let's see.
That's
Glass shards on the floor.
enough!
There it is. What? That's it. I went for the locker. I had the wrong one selected. Go figure.
Did you know someone left a handprint behind on the inside of the locker? They must have been hiding in there and put their hand on the wall without thinking. Does his handprint look familiar, Toko?
No, it doesn't.
Okay then, let's just compare it to your hand, shall we? That'll clear everything up, right?
Stop wasting my time. Just tell us the truth.
Okay, it's my handprint.
Dang, she just straight up admitted it.
Then you killed Sakura!
No, I swear, there's no way!
Out with it.
I probably did kill her.
Straight up again.
Wait, what do you mean probably?
Give us the details, Toko. What happened between you and Sakura?
Talk. Now.
After I read Sakura's note, I decided to go there early, so I went into the rec room. I didn't know what she might do if I didn't go, but I was too scared to face her head on. So I figured I'd just sneak in first and hide in the locker.
Then, did you see what happened? Did you see me hit her?
Yes, and I saw you write my name. I saw you forge her dying message.
Well, that's awkward.
So after he left, I jumped out of the locker and put the magazine back on the shelf.
But when you did, you put it back upside down.
I didn't mean to. I was in a hurry.
Imbeciles, all of you.
Forget all that. Why did you attack Sakura?
After I put the magazine back, I heard a sound behind me like a monster growling. And when I turned around, there was Sakura, covered in blood and staring right at me. When I saw all that blood, I fainted right there in front of the magazines. I don't remember what happened after that. If you want to know more, you'll have to ask her.
Her? You mean...
Guess who's back?
It was your fault after all.
My fault, Master's fault. When our faults combine, they soar to even greater heights.
Just answer the question. Did you kill Sakura?
Well, to be honest, Miss Morose and me don't actually share our memories, so I can't really say what was going on. But I was just minding my own business, sleeping peacefully when someone shook me awake. Was it a prince paying me a visit? I wondered. So I opened my eyes to see... Splatter everywhere! I was not prepared for that. And, well, I guess it took me by surprise. I got so startled, I smacked her with the first thing I could find, which I guess was a bottle. Sakura was just worried about you, and you're terrible! No, she's terrible! Thanks to her, I murdered someone who wasn't an adorable boy for the first time ever!
And when it was all over, you collected the pieces of the bottle to get rid of the evidence, didn't you?
I wasn't about to die for some woman! If I'm gonna go down, I want it to be for killing Master!
Just go away and die your meaningless death alone. Don't drag me into it.
But I just can't catch a break, you know? Fate's got it out for me. Because normally, Sakura should have been able to dodge my attack no problem.
Even as strong as she is, she must have still been reeling from Hiro's attack.
Hey, come on. That's... you know... But anyway, I'm not the one that killed Ogre. So that's good.
So that's good? Keep talking like that and Hina's gonna...
Well then, that's that. Let's start the vote.
I thought for sure you'd have some words for Hiro on that one.
What's wrong? Come on, everyone, we're ready to vote, right? Let's do this.
No, not quite yet.
Huh? Not yet? Why not yet?
Don't you think there was something odd about Toko's story? I mean, you had to have noticed.
Odd. Huh?
Hiro's attack, and then Toko's, but that still wasn't the end of it.
It wasn't?
Tell us your story one more time. Tell us what happened after you fainted. Then even this gaggle of idiots should understand what I'm talking about.
Your wish is my command, darling.
It's not over yet, is it? The one who killed Sakura is... Who did it? Oh no, did Hina do it accidentally? the yellow powder, maybe.
I was just sleeping peacefully, and all of a sudden, Sakura was right there in front of me. I remember waking up right in front of the magazine shelf.
You were taken by surprise when you saw Ogre covered in blood. So you smashed her head in with the Monokuma bottle?
You got it! I smashed her good!
And where did the attack take place?
Right where I woke up! I killed her there in front of the shelf!
So if the second shot from Toko is what killed Sakura, then the problem is the location of the body. Where did Sakura die? It was in the chair.
Sleeping peacefully, and all of a sudden, I remember waking up.
You were taken by surprise when you saw Ogre. You smashed her.
You got it! I smashed
And where did the attack take place?
right where I woke up! I killed her there in front of the shelf!
Sorry, dear.
No, what's wrong? We found Sakura sitting upright in a chair. If the blow by the shelf was the cause of death, there's no explanation why she was in that chair.
So, you finally noticed.
That's just another lie from a bloodthirsty serial killer.
Are you sure you didn't attack her while she was sitting in the chair?
No, I'm sure she's telling the truth. Anyone who saw the murder scene should think the same way.
That has to be it. The evidence that proves there was an attack in front of the magazine shelf. That's the bloodstain on the floor, yeah?
I got it! Sakura was definitely attacked in front of the shelf. The bloodstain by the magazines is proof of that.
Then she must have moved the body after she killed her, right? All to make it look like I did it. Because when I hit her, she was sitting in the chair.
Hey, come on now, look at me! I can't carry anything heavier than my own scissors! There's no way I could move a muscle-bound heavyweight like that!
Then what's the deal?
Well, are you still convinced the case has come to an end?
But...
Plus, the biggest mystery of all, the locked room, still has yet to be explained. Until we take care of that, we can't say this case has been properly settled.
Oh, that part's easy. After she killed Sakura, Toko just hid in the locker again.
Oh, so she just hid in there till everyone showed up and opened the door? And while everything was all confused and hectic, she just snuck out of the locker into the group.
No, I don't think that's possible.
The reason there's no way Toko was hiding in the locker was because the locker, I saw it for myself, it was open.
I got it! Even before we opened the door to the rec room, Hina and I both got a look inside. And at that point, the locker was already open. So obviously Toko couldn't have been hiding in there.
Okay then, where was she hiding?
I don't know! What's this whole locked room thing about anyway?
How do you not know? You killed her!
I think the fact that I don't know proves I didn't kill her! Thank you very much! You're lying!
No, she's not. I've been saying all along, there's still more to this case.
But if Genocide Jill didn't do it, that means Ogre didn't die from the shot to the head.
And
Well, I can't imagine what else could have killed her.
that's because you're overlooking vital information.
Could we really be missing something so important? The powder, Makoto! There's another possible explanation. Maybe it's... she was poisoned. That's what did her in. Leave that out of the Monokuma
What was it
file.
that killed Ogre? If it wasn't from Genocide Jill's attack, then what was it?
There's no other possible cause. What killed Sakura? I can't think of anything other than the shot to her head.
Oh, that's not it. Come on, Makoto. Don't climb up now.
Shoot!
I need to think back one more time. There must be a contradiction in there somewhere.
What was it that killed Ogre? If it wasn't from Genocide Jill's attack, then what was it?
There's no other that killed Sakura. I can't think of anything other than the shot to her head. So you guess that I'm blaming me, huh?
Alright. Has to be written in there. Yeah, it's in the
If it
Monokuma
wasn't
file.
from Genocide Jill, then what was it?
There's no other possible cause that killed Sakura. I can't think of anything other than the shot to her.
Sorry, Hiro.
According to the Monokuma file, Sakura had vomited blood. I think we can assume there's a chance this was related to her cause of death. In fact, there was even a trace of blood left around her mouth.
Well, I mean, maybe when she got hit with the bottles, she cut the inside of her mouth.
If that's all it was, the file wouldn't have specified vomited blood. Not to mention, I didn't find any cuts inside her mouth.
You even checked in there? God, you really are into dead bodies!
No, I'm not into dead bodies. What I'm into is solving mysteries.
But if there wasn't a cut or anything, then what made her vomit blood?
Some sort of reaction within her body. Most likely, Sakura was poisoned.
Poisoned?
That's right. This is the conclusion I've arrived at, and so there can be no mistake.
You're making me go all weak in the knees! She was poisoned? It isn't possible!
Is it really so hard to believe? Then let me explain exactly how the culprit was able to poison her.
You can explain it?
Of course, if you don't mind.
Everyone quiet! Shut up and listen to Master!
But you're the only one talking.
The key to unlocking this mystery was hiding in the chem lab up on the 4th floor.
Huh? Not in the rec room? And I could have found it all along!
You never would have, since you gave up on the search the moment you were barred from the crime scene.
Well, yeah, good point.
There's a big shelving unit in the chem lab that houses a variety of mixtures and chemicals. And that's where I found this.
Is that the poison?
It's not an especially powerful poison, but it'll still kill you if you drink an entire bottle. But the specific properties don't matter. What does matter is where I found it.
Where'd you find it?
The shelf is divided up into 3 sections, A, B, and C. In Section A, dietary supplements. In B, reagents. And in C, a variety of lethal chemicals.
And that's where the poison came from? Section C?
Well, that's the question, isn't it?
Bottle of poison Byakuya showed us. I'm sure I know where he got it. Yeah, it was Section A. Same shelf as all the supplements, so...
Oh my God! The poison was actually in Section A, wasn't it?
Huh? You just said that Section A was for supplements or whatever.
Strange, isn't it? Why would there be a bottle of poison mixed in with all those nutritional additives?
Yeah, so? Why?
Because the culprit switched it out. That's why.
What do you mean?
I mean, this.
I couldn't believe my eyes. Byakuya put the bottle of poison to his lips, and...
Master!
We were so shocked at what we were seeing. All we could do was stand there and watch. I'm sorry, this was a very silly image to me for some reason. But as if it were the most natural thing in the world, Byakuya was as calm as ever.
That tastes awful.
Oh no! Master's in real trouble! You have to drink some water! You can't just swallow powder! It'll stick to your throat!
Idiot! He just swallowed poison! We need to make him spit it out!
The flavor certainly makes me want to spit it out. What's so high quality about this stuff?
Huh? What are you talking about?
They pulled an Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's like how Charlie puts the mayonnaise in the poison bottle, but he puts the poison in the mayonnaise. So all this time I've been putting poison on my sandwiches?
I'm talking about the protein, of course.
Protein?
Can I see that bottle for a second?
Oh, sure. Do whatever you like.
Kyoko took the bottle from Byakuya and scraped out a bit of the contents with one finger. She touched her finger to her tongue.
This is... it's protein powder.
Correct. That wasn't poison in the bottle, but harmless protein powder. Which makes one wonder, the poison that should have been in that bottle, where did it go?
The bottle of poison was actually filled with protein powder. Which means that conversely, the poison must have been in... Could it be? It was in the protein powder. They really did pull an Always Sunny. I just watched that episode, too. I need an R. Where are you? Where are you? T. E. E followed by N. Alright, now we need the D again. Wait, I can't believe I just said that. We need the D. Now we need the N. Now we... Oh yeah, we're good.
Now I understand. The poison must have been poured into the protein can. If the protein's in the poison bottle, it seems only logical to assume the reverse is true, right?
Absolutely. The contents of each container were switched. So the protein was in the bottle of poison, and the poison was in the protein can. Once you accept that, it becomes obvious how the culprit was able to get Sakura to drink the poison.
Holy crap!
All they had to do was hand her something there at the scene, and she was happy to drink the poison herself.
Something at the scene. A protein drink.
I got it! You're saying they gave her a protein drink, right?
A protein drink which actually contained a deadly poison.
What?
That's all it took to kill Sakura. That is the true cause of death.
You know, I do remember Ogre saying that protein stuff was good for all kinds of aches and pains. So maybe she took it to try and help with the whole bleeding head wound thing.
But what was offered to her instead was a bottle full of poison. And I already know exactly who swapped the mixtures.
For real? Who was it?
Evidence revealing who replaced the two materials was left in the chem lab for anyone to see.
The evidence that shows who switched them. It has to be... It must be what we found in front of the shelf. Yeah, the footprints. I don't want this to be Hina if she handed Sakura the powder.
I got it! The footprints left behind in front of the shelf. That's the evidence you're talking about, isn't it?
I visited the chem lab this morning, and there were definitely no footprints there at that point. They must have appeared around the time of the murder, which leaves no doubt that they're connected. What's more, the footprints were in front of Section A, where I found the bottle meant for the poison. The culprit must have gone to Section A to swap the poison and protein, leaving their footprints behind. And given how clear the prints were, figuring out who they belong to will pose no problem. All we have to do is check everyone's footprints right now. Then we'll see who...
It was me.